Started. Okay, so as per today's topic is we need to discuss about the forms and labels in warehouse. Okay, so what are all the forms and labels we are going to work in EWM? Anyone knows about that? Any information, any input? What are all the basically what are all the forms and labels we are going to work in warehouse? Suppose as a EWM consultants, you people are going to work on some forms and labels, right? So what are all the forms and labels?
As per the information, labels are the identification of the material which we get from the
No, no,
ERP
I'm
system.
not asking about the differences. Okay, what is
Yeah,
label,
yeah,
what is
yeah.
what? I'm asking what are all the areas or what are all the labels or what are all the forms you are going to generate and you are going to work in a warehouse in general. I'm not it's not related to the SAP EWM. Or in general, what are all the forms and labels you are going to work it?
Inbound, outbound, sir.
No, those are all the processes. I'm talking about the prints, see how what kind of prints you are going to work it in a simple manner.
No idea.
Okay, fine, yeah, I will
Sir,
yeah,
pack spec is a form. Whether
yeah,
I'm not sure on that one.
okay, pack spec, okay, fine, yeah,
Uh,
that is the one area you are going to generate. Okay, yeah,
yes.
HU label printing is also
yeah, HU label, okay, and yeah, it's a general see interactive session, so don't worry about that. So whatever the information you have, what you know about that warehouses things, just let me
Label
know.
printing, sir.
uh Sorry,
Label printing.
label, what label printing?
H HUs.
Okay, HU label, okay, okay, fine. So I'll give you background of this labels or whatever forms and everything. So okay, the measure see, this is a very important and very critical in a warehouse. Okay, very important and very critical in a warehouse. Each and every area, you are working in the inbound, outbound, internal processes, and you are working in a cross process settings. So many areas you are working, right, in the in EWM arena. So basically when you take in a, any warehouse, you are working, okay, forget about EWM. So if you are working in any warehouse, so they compulsory need to take in a printouts. Okay, so let's take an example, delivery printout they required. Okay, and at the same time they need a they need a even in a warehouse, even once you start with the the bins structures, when you create in a Benny bins, bin structures, anything if you start it, so you need in a bin labels, you need a put away labels, you need a what we call the material labels, you need a what is that, picking list, packing list, how you are going to pick that one, how you are going to pick that particular product, how you are going to do the packing. So what are all the pack is required. Okay, sorry, suppose you are doing any packing. Okay, so what are all the contents, in the sense materials to be packed into the in that particular the packing. So without an example, without knowing this information or without these papers, okay, so warehouse workers will not able to do that. So everyone who are all in the warehouse, in any area, in an inbound area, or GR area, or GI area, or packing area, or work center area, wherever they are working, even in quality also, they are going within a paperwork. They are going within a paperwork. So obviously, so let's a very simple example, you are giving one work to the warehouse worker who is sitting at packing station. You need to give a paper to that particular guy saying that, boss, can you please pack these materials into so and so? Maybe a big carton, pallet, or we are calling in EWM language, we are calling as an HU. But you are giving an information to the respective user. Just give a minute. Just give a minute. Sorry. Yeah. So you are going to give a paper to the respective person, and that particular paper will contains a list of what we call materials, and what kind of packaging material he has to use it, how big he has to construct that particular pack, or HU, or maybe like a pallet, or maybe a cardboard box, or maybe cotton, what kind of whether he's keeping in a wire basket, whatever it may be. So that complete information you are going to give it in a paper, and by seeing that paper, that guy will pack it, everything ready. He will pack it and everything is ready. So without paper, it is very difficult to him to handle that particular packing area. Okay, another example I'll tell you. So once the goods are receiving to the warehouse, what the truck driver, what truck driver will do? Truck driver will carry all the papers. I am getting all these so and so products from so and so vendor, and they the truck driver will give to the warehouse person there, and then he will check that particular what is that document, and in that document, okay, he will enter all the purchase order details or inbound delivery details, whatever the details he had. So that information he will put it into the system, and then he will start the PRTA transaction, whatever the warehouse task creations, putaways, whatever the transactions we are giving to the respective people. So he will start from there onwards. He will start from there onwards. So even at the time of goods issue also. So if you see that at the time of goods issue, you need to give the complete the product details, what are all the products you packed, and then what are all the products you are loading into the particular the truck, and you are going to give that information to the truck driver to deliver it, customer address, or maybe with the what are all the products.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, your voice is echoing. Actually, in the background, your voice is echoing.
I think I don't know, Urmila, right? So your voice only getting a problem, I think. Can you please check it? Even others also facing same problem?
Yes, sir, I asked somebody in the meeting. They are also telling me the same problem. So that's fine.
Can you please?
Your voice is very clear.
Right, my voice is clear, right?
Your voice is clear, and the other person, that lady voice,
Ah.
is giving echo.
Yeah, I think Urmila, can you please log off and log in again? So I think your voice only getting echo, and you are getting a lot of even for me also, when you switch on, I'm getting a lot of disturbance. Yeah, now it's clear. And yeah, now it's clear. Okay. So the reason is once you start any warehouse operations, what will happen, any warehouse operation will work within a paperwork only. Okay, you are constructing the handling unit. Okay, you are prepare construct mean to say you are taking a packaging material and you are preparing a box, and you need to give the particular what is the box, what is the handling unit number, what is content will be available in that particular, what content will be available in that particular box, and what are all the materials it is there, what is the weight of that box, what is the length of this box. So all the details you are keeping into that one label, and then you are stitching that label on top of that particular box, right? So that is nothing but we are calling in EWM language, we are calling in a handling unit label, HU label. But generally what they are doing, they are giving an information, okay, this particular box or maybe pallet or maybe a wire basket will contains the information of what is the product inside that, how many pieces it is there, what is the batch, what is the what we called what is the length, width and height of that particular box. So all the details you are going to get by seeing that particular label, instead of go inside the system and then identify that what is the box, which box it is, what is the number and everything. So instead of that you can see that by seeing that particular label, you will come to know the details of that particular box. That's why the handling unit label come into picture. Same way, packing list, the word we called as like, packing list, but generally by seeing that paper, the person can able to do that packing. Delivery note, by seeing that, like, whatever the information truck driver carries, that information, by seeing that, the security guy, or maybe like, that the entry point, like, the goods receipt guy will check the details of, like, that purchase order, inbound delivery and everything, and then he will start his work, like, doing the GR, and then, like, start doing that, like, put away processes and everything. Same way, picking guy. So how he is going to do the picking? Let's take an example. They don't have any RF, they don't have anything. They have system. Okay, fine, well and good. They will not come each and every time to the system and come and do this one, right? They will just simply take the printout of that picking list, and they will just go to the respective locations and pick the products, and they just make a mark on the paper at the end, like, they will keep a signature of that, like, oh, I completed all my picking activities and give it submitted to the respective warehouse supervisor. Then he will verify that, like, okay, this product is okay, this product is okay, everything is picked, and then, like, he will just make a market and sign it, okay, confirmed, and then, like, they will just do the loading. At the time of loading also, they are going to give a loading sheet to the respective driver. After loading, okay, this many products we loaded into your system, into into your vehicle, and these are all the, like, the product details, and these are all the handling unit details, and these are all the customer information. So you need to drop into the respective customer locations, and they will give a one printout to that particular guy, and that guy will take that particular printout, and then, like, we will mark it on that, and he will close his activities. Okay, one is paperwork and other one is, like, device work. So, right, device in the sense, like, now that, like, technology is going in a different ways. Now what will happen, like, because of the technology, like, they're reducing the using of a paperwork. They're reducing using of a paperwork. Even though they reduce the paperwork, obviously they required some labels, some forms in a warehouse. As I said, like, HU, how to identify the handling unit? You need some information. You need some information to stitch on that particular HU. Okay, so if it is in a remote place and there is no Wi-Fi, nothing is there, and then, like, device is not able to work, then they will go within a paperwork. They will go within a paperwork. And one more thing, like, the warehouse workers, like, the truck drivers and everything, they are uneducated, and they are very familiar. If you give any devices, it is very difficult to them, like, to go and work with the devices. Now they are also educating, but still the most of the people, like, carry the papers only. Most of the truck drivers and everyone will carry the papers only. Okay, so, and the measuring. Okay, so an example, like, once you pick the product, okay, you received a one outbound delivery, you did all warehouse activities, whatever the warehouse activities come into the picture, like, at the time of outbound delivery, you will receive the outbound delivery, and you will create a picking task, and you will do the packing, and you will do the loading, and you click on the goods issue. Once goods issue is completed, then what you will do? Okay, fine, my warehouse work is done. But after goods issue is completed, the next topic is invoice generation. So you need to generate an invoice, right? So invoice is also a one of the, like, form, one of the form. Okay, so that particular invoice also is generated by, okay, let's decide that, like, in our like, organization, they will decide that whether that invoice has to be printed by FICO team or it has to print by EWM team. What is that decide will happen. But the complete data, what are all the products you send it and everything, all the data, like, it has to flow from EWM, the warehouse, to the respective, like, the finance department to generate an invoice document. To generate an invoice document. Okay, so can someone mute, please? Hello, can someone mute, please? Who are all? Hello, can someone mute, please? Or else I will, let me check. Yeah, fine. So this is a like, this is the reason. So we are going to generate an invoice, right? Even, like, you observe that, like, you ordered any product in Amazon, you are going to get, and how many papers will get in once you receive the product? Anyone? Did you observe once you received a product, any Amazon product you ordered, once you received a product, how many
Two, sir.
papers will be there on that?
2 papers will be there on that.
Okay, so what is the information it contains? But it will be, a paper will be available, right? On top of that, they will stitch a paper.
Yes, sir.
Maybe either
That
one
is,
or two, so they are going to print on a paper, and then they are going to stitch on that particular one and give it to you, right?
yes.
So what information it contains? Anyone observed what information it contains?
It contains invoice details, sir.
Other than that,
Product details also.
product details also. Yes, yeah.
Customer details.
Yeah, customer details, exactly. That is a main important one. Yeah.
Order ID.
Yes, yeah. Order IDs.
PIN code also.
PIN code. That comes under customer address. So the complete customer address will be available there. Yeah.
And seller details and
Exactly.
Delivery details.
Who is the seller, delivery details, when it started, AWB number, you can able to see all the most of the information you are getting into that that paper, right? So that paper they want to stitch means they have to take a printout, right? So that information based on the order, based on the outbound delivery order, that information you will get it into the in the system. From there they will just take a printout, and then they will stitch on that particular after packing, they will stitch on top of that and give it to the respective delivery boy or whoever. Sorry, I'm really sorry, please can someone mute it? I'm getting a lot of disturbance from other people. Yeah, so they will stitch all the details on top of it, and then they will deliver it. Okay, fine. So, and at the time, if you observe, once you open the packet, on top of that, this is the information it is available. Once you open the packet, what is the other information which is available? Okay, you open the product. What is the other information it is available? Any other that printed things will be available?
Warranty card.
Yeah, that is a warranty card. Yes. Go ahead.
batch number, serial number.
Exactly.
Packing
Yeah. What
list.
is about about the product? What are all the product is available?
Product and how to use it.
Packing list.
Packing list. Yeah. What are all the products packed into that particular that complete box? You will come to know that okay, this is the product is available inside, this is the product is available inside, like that. In that
Yes,
particular on top of the box, see, I'm not talking on top of the packing paper. Again, if you open the paper, that Amazon one cover, and then inside there is a box. On top of the box there is a one more what is that, if you ordered 3 to 4 products, on top of that you are going to get one more thing. Okay, these are all the items packed into so and so box. This is the item is available inside this one. So this again, if you open that, on top of product also you are going to get the product information, product label, warranty cards, and all other stuff will be available in that particular box. So you are going to get a list of materials, mean to say these are all the products I packed inside this, and you are giving an information on top of that with a paper, in a paper. So ultimately the goal of these forms and labels is each and every place to identify, to recognize easily without seeing in a system, so they can see it in a paper. They can see it in a paper. So that is the agenda of these forms and labels. And one more, the major point is here, if any problem happen on printing, it is a very critical to the warehouse. Remember this. If you get any issue related to the printer, it is a very high critical incident in a warehouse. When you talk about in a support project, if any problem happen on a printing side, our printer is not working, or maybe the printer not coming, the details are not populated correctly. So if such kind of things are there, then immediately it is in a very high escalation to the warehouse. So the persons who are working on the functional or technical, whoever, so the person is a very responsible person, and then he has to act immediately to work on that printers, and then like this is the forms and labels. Topic wise, it is very small. Topic wise, it is very small. It's related to the printers hardware and this one, but it's a very important to them. If any one print is stopped, then gone. All their warehouse operations will be stopped. It causes a major loss to the warehouse. That is the reason. So if you are working in any warehouse projects, especially in SAP, so printers, high level printers, as well as like the printing tasks are very crucial and very sensitive. And even the measuring of like at the end of the day, the measuring of like the warehouse performance, I mean to say like the warehouse performance calculated by your printouts only. So very simple. It will be calculated by how many inbound deliveries you are getting, how many outbound deliveries you are going, and based on that only like generally like the warehouse performance will be captured. So that those are linked to the printouts. Those are all linked to the printouts. Okay. Now these forms, whatever the like forms, the words we are using, what are all the forms? There are like two categories are available. One is form and one is label. So let me know what is form, what is label. Anyone have an idea? What is form, what is label? Anyone?
Label contains alphanumerical.
Okay. Any other? What is form, what is label? Yeah, generally like right, like what is label? In normal language, what is label, what is form?
Maybe it contains QR codes. And the
Okay,
form doesn't contain QR codes.
form doesn't contains QR codes and labels contains a QR. Okay, QR codes. Okay, yeah. Any other? Yeah, I'll give you the information. Okay, form means it's a A4 size paper. A very simple way. Form means it's a A4 size paper. Label means it's a stitchable one. On top of like anything like you can stitch that particular line. It contains some paste on that, and then like you are going to stitch on that. It is a label. Label mean to say like you are stitching on to the respective this one. Form means it's a A4 size paper. Now you are clear?
Yes.
Sir.
Okay. Coming to the printing on that particular label or form, it can be anything. You can print a QR code, you can print barcode, you can print any numeric codes, whatever the like language you want, whatever the like values you want, whatever the format you want, you can print on label, you can print on A4 size paper also. So in a warehouse, you have a different type of printouts will be available. See, basically on top of HU, you don't need A4 size paper, right? You don't need that much big information on that. You need just a label. You are stitching that particular HU information, HU number, material number, what is a HU barcode, material barcode, what is the quantity, so and so. So it's just a small like small label you require. Okay, let's talk about like bin label. So you are going to generate, see, bin is a bin label. We cannot say like bin form. We call it as bin label. Why? You are going to print that yellow color on top of like yellow color one. You are going to print in a bin number, and you are stitching that bin number on top of onto the respective like the location, right? That is called as a bin label. That's why there is a bin label. So it contains only one number. And the size also will vary according to that. The size also will be vary. The size also, the label size also will be vary according to that. Okay, one warehouse will contains like one company or one warehouse will contains an HU label is like 2 by 2 size, 2 inches by 2 inches, or maybe like 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters, whatever the sizes like will be available according to the sizes like they are going to prepare that. And when it comes to the some other warehouse, they are going to print a huge number, they will increase more information on that particular label, so they will increase the size of the label. But when it comes to the real time, most of the times the labels will contains more on barcodes, QR codes, whatever, the latest technologies which we have, barcode, 2D barcode, 3D barcodes, or whatever, it contains an information as a barcode. Labels will contain most of the information as in a barcode. As A4 size paper, mean to say you have enough paper length is there, so you are going to print a more number of informations like that: who created, who this is that, what is the vehicle number, what is the document number, delivery number. Even you can keep barcodes also there. But the number of the printing barcodes will be very less. The printing of a barcodes will be very less. So now tell me, how many labels are there? Now tell me how many labels we are going to print in a warehouse. With this example, how many barcodes, labels we can print it in a warehouse?
3.
What are all they?
One is for auxiliary, and one is for pallet, and one is for cotton.
No. That is completely it's a HU only, right? One label.
Okay.
It's a HU one label.
Means separately also the labels will be created. No,
But only size will be matter.
Okay.
Or maybe one or two information will be matter. But ultimately we called as that one everything called as a HU label only.
Okay.
Only packaging material is varying. For cotton packaging material is varying. For pallet packaging material is varying. But ultimately it is a HU.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. HU label. Okay. HU side label is required. Yeah. And other one?
And inbound delivery notification labels.
No, that is not a label.
That is not label. Yeah.
That is not a label.
Means document.
It's a A4 size paper, right? See, delivery means it contains
Okay.
more information. It's a A4 size paper. You are going to get a form. You are going to get a form. That's called as a form.
Yes.
Yeah. I already given one more information. Bin
Storage
label.
bin level.
Bin
Barcode
label.
labels, bin labels,
Bin labels. One more. Sorry. One more I missed.
barcode labels. Sir.
Barcode means
Barcode label.
it can be anything is a barcode. HU also is a barcode label. Bin also is a barcode label.
Okay.
Product labels.
Yeah, exactly. Good. Product label. Yes. Some people will call it as product label. Some people will call it as material label. Some people will call it as batch label. These are all in category 1. HU, bin, product, any other?
Label. Status label.
Status means?
Task
In which
label.
state that is going next to stage like that.
Okay, no, that is called as put away label. We call it as put away label. Okay. Okay. Any other? Okay, coming to the forms. What are all the forms we can generate? So same information I will show you in the system also. Okay, same information I will show you in the system also. Even the category also will be like that.
Picking list, packing list.
Yeah, exactly. Picking list, packing list, put away list, delivery note. Yeah. Invoice.
Bill of lading if required.
Bill of lading. Yes. Yeah. Unloading list, loading list. These are all the forms. Okay. Loading list, unloading list. This everything will come under a form only. Okay. Just give me a minute. I will share one PPT and I will explain you that how the warehouse prints will come into picture. Okay. One small, just be online. I'll say just for the Okay. I'm going to give one small presentation about how the complete process, put away process. In that put away process, where are the we are going to get what we called prints. Print will be generated. Okay. It can be, the print can be a RF, via RF, or maybe that desktop, or maybe automatic, semi-automatic. You can go and take a printout by manual also. So there's a lot of options to take it into the prints. But first of all, where the prints will come into picture, how we are going to do that. Okay. So now I will just give you some overview about the inbound, how the inbound process will be generated. In that inbound process, where that the particular documents will be generated and how they will work in a simple way. Okay. Presentation way. Okay. I'll just share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's assume that this is a warehouse. It contains a checkpoint. It's mean to say in a real time, it is just a security gate. Checkpoint is nothing but security gate. These are all the doors. These are all the staging areas, GR zone or GA zone, or maybe GR zone, deconsolidation, whatever you are selecting the storage type roles, right, like that. And these are all the bins into say the fix put away bins, SA0 to PA02. These are all the put away bins. Let's take assume that here you are going to do a storage, here you are doing the staging and packing, and here it contains a door. It is a yard and it is a checkpoint, and then how you are going to work it. Okay. First, what we'll do, inbound, you see in a system, always think, while learning EWM, always think two activities simultaneously. One is physical activity and the second one is system activity. When the people will do a physical activity, when the people will do in a system activity. So if you identify that exactly, then you will be super in EWM. Okay. So when the persons in a warehouse, persons will do a physical activity, when they will come and do the system activity, you have to identify that. Okay. So inbound delivery creation, who will create the inbound delivery? Purchasing department will create an inbound delivery. Then you can see, observe that the PPT, then inbound processing started. So see, as per you, whenever the inbound delivery is created in an ECC system, it will come to the EWM system. Well and good. The document will be available. You are doing your warehouse activities immediately, you are creating inbound delivery and it comes to the EWM system, and you started working on that creating of a warehouse task and creating do the put away, whatever packing and everything you are doing it system. But when it comes to the real time, inbound delivery will be created today and it distributed to the EWM system today only. But the actual inbound delivery warehouse activities, when you will do the put away, once the products received to your warehouse, then only you will start do the put away. Till the time that inbound delivery will be open only. Why? Because the delivery date, see, you given you raise a purchase order and you ask the vendor will deliver that products on next next week. The delivery date will be the next week. Without coming the products, how we will do the GR, how we will do the put away. So, but as per the system, once you create an inbound delivery, it distributed to the EWM system. It lays it will be available in what is that EWM system, but you cannot perform any warehouse activities. Why? Physically the goods are not received yet. Once physically received goods will be received, then only you will start your activities, the warehouse activities. The warehouse workers will use that particular inbound delivery, or maybe ASN number, or maybe P1 number. With that information, they will do the GR, they will do the put away, they will send it to the deconsolidation, they will send it to the quality workstation, whatever the activities, they will perform it. Till that time, it lays in EWM system. That's it. You're not going to work on that particular inbound delivery. But as a test, or maybe you are working. So what you are going to do is immediately whenever it comes to the EWM system, you start creating a what is that warehouse task, and you are doing a GR and all other activities you are performing. When I will do GR, once the physically goods are received. Okay. Inbound is pre-processing. Now you can see the truck driver will reach it to the checkpoint. Once he reaches to the checkpoint, what he will do, he will hand over all the documents. You can see, hand over all the documents to the warehouse office. He will submit all the documents to the warehouse office. What the security guy or maybe the person will do, he will open a computer, and he will check that like, the delivery number, the details and everything is okay or not. So if you open the computer, he contains in a one software, right? That the particular security guy also will contains in a software, right? That software is nothing but SAP EWM. There you heard about /SCWM CICO /SCWM /TU /SCWM /vehicle. Hello?
No, sir. No.
No, vehicle, TU.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Yes.
So that transactions actually you will see inside, like, the deconsolidation he is using /SCWM /decon at the staging areas or maybe deconsolidation work center. For doing a GR, he is using /SCWM /PRDA transaction. So now it is EWM enabled. The warehouse is EWM enabled. At the checkpoint, the person like, /SCWM CICO means check-in, check-out, or TU means like, TU transport unit, or vehicle means like, the vehicle, whatever the registration. So that entire information assigning to the inbound deliveries to that particular TU. So that everything like, what they will do is like, they will maintain all the details. They will use that 3 transaction code. The security guy will use that 3 transaction codes. And based on that, like, he will verify against the open purchase orders and the inbound deliveries. And you can see this is the, he will register the, nothing is there. The transaction code purpose is like, just to register your vehicle, register your TU. Okay, the TU is coming correctly or not, the vehicle is correctly or not. So that information they will just maintain. They'll just maintain all these details. They will maintain, and then like, they will give in a one print. The print like, here, whenever you fill all the details, there is a report called as print unloading report. The unloading report will be printed. Unloading report will be printed. So wherever I given this icon, like, you can see that like, there one form come into picture. The unloading report will come into picture to that one. That unloading report, he will take that unloading report and give it to the truck driver. What unloading report contains? Okay, the door is free. You go to that particular door. Already the door is assigned to you. So you go to that particular staging area and door, and there you go and do the unloading. So he will give that like, unloading report to the truck driver. And after that, like, the truck driver will go to the respective door and he will unload all the products by using RF, or maybe by using like, by just simply click on that unloading button in the PRDA transaction, whatever, like, as per defined process, whatever the process we define in the system. So based on that defined process, they will go. Okay, so after unload, what will happen? A booking list will be created. There is a one more form called as booking list. When it say list means it is a form. Some people will call it as form, booking form. Some people will call it as a list kind of thing. So a booking list will be generated. See here also, after unloading, we can generate one more form called as a booking list. Some people will call it as like, put available. Some people will call it as like, deconsolidate, whatever, like, it depends. So that list also will contain some details. Okay, maybe according to their warehouse, they need this information. After unloading, by using that particular form booking list, so it will go to the respective deconsolidation station. There they will use pack or maybe decons, whatever quality, whatever the transaction code, they will use the transaction code. And by using the transaction code, what they will do, they will scan the product, they will scan the HUs, they will create an HUs, and there like, they will create a handling unit labels. And see, they separated the deconsolidation, and there like, you can see a label will be generated like this. It's a sample label I'm giving, like, what is the HU number with the barcode, material number, and it contains like, what is how many quantities it is there, which HU type you are using, where that particular like, who like, you can see this is the complete information you are going to get here. This is the complete information you are going to get about this particular label. So this particular label is, these labels will be vary. These labels will be vary according to the warehouse. So they need only the handling unit and then product barcodes here. Other thing is just information like, quantity, HU type, what is the material number, what is the text of that one, who is the supplier, what is the order number, what is the TU number, and all the information you are going to get it. It's this we called as per this warehouse, we call as a put available. By seeing this put away label on top of HU, like, the deconsolidation guy will paste that particular, like, label with a small size. They will place on that particular, like, this one. Then put away guy will come and then he will use an RF device and he will keep it into the respective put away bins. Okay. So basically what RF guy will do, how that, like, the truck will come. So basically, like, in the truck, like, you have at the time of, like, loading, you can see here there will be a loading list. So you are going to load all the vehicle, like, in one vehicle you are going to with the different suppliers, you are going to create an like, different like, you can see here deliveries will be assigned to the particular TU and then you will keep into the respective TU. While doing that, like, arrival at a checkpoint and a security point, while going and while coming, security point is a very important. So you are checking and you are check out, both you are doing. So at the time unloading list you are going to print it, and even, like, the checkout also the guy will check it and everything, and then they, like, they will prepare this loading sheet. See, if you go to Metro or IKEA or maybe Big Bazaar or a small shop also, what the people are doing, Vijayta, whatever, like, you are going, if you go inside, like, you take all this one and then they will bill it everything. While going, a security guy will check everything is there or not, and then he will put a stamp on that, like, delivered or everything is okay. In a very small shop itself, like, they're doing all this one. Same like that here, like, at the time of incoming and at the time of outgoing, like, they're checking, they're doing a unloading sheet. Okay. So this is about, like, a small, like, forms, how, where it is, where the forms will be generated. You are clear, right? Like, where we are going to get in a forms will be generated at what point of time, at what point of transaction, which transaction you are using at what point of time, like, that particular label or form, which one it is, a label or form, which one is triggering. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now you are clear about, like, forms and labels, right? How it will trigger and how sorry, triggering. Now forget about the triggering point. You get some information about, like, okay, fine, here we are going to generate a form, here we are going to generate a label. Label means it contains some it's a stitchable one, it is an A4 size paper, like that. Okay. Yeah. So now let's go to, yeah. So as I said, okay, fine, well and good, like, the first criteria is, like, to print this one, what we required, hardware.
Printer.
Printers. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Which printers you are using? Any idea about, like, which printers? Do you know, is there any specific, like, for the warehouse print, normal printers is different or warehouse printers are different, like, is there any such kind of printers is like, different printers are there? Okay. Basically warehouse, like, you can see here, as I told you, like, most of the labels which you are using are a barcode, right? With a barcode or QR code or whatever. So most of the places, like, we are going to get, like, in a warehouse, you can able to see this is such kind of, like, that printers. There are so many models. So basically, like, 90% of the warehouses using, like, Zebra printers. 90% of the warehouses are using Zebra printers. Zebra means it's for the barcode printing, there is a separate language will be there, like, the system will convert that one into the respective barcode language, and then it will generate a barcode like this way. Zebra printers are very powerful to like, it's a very good what is that, like, printers to print in a barcodes, different styles of barcodes, you can see. Even the technology which we are using, like, to print the barcodes is Zebra language. The technical people will take care. So basically, like, we are going to use a big Zebra printers, as well as, like, the company Zebra printers itself, like, Zebra is a one more company, and other than that, like, there are some other companies, like, Honeywell, MacTech, and there are some other companies also is there. So basically, like, Honeywell is the very one, reputed company, like, we are going to use it into the respective, like, RF, sorry, even RF devices as well as, like, the printers. These are all the printers, like, RF devices generally, like, Honeywell is the powerful now, and, like, now the present market grabbed by Honeywell. Honeywell is supplying printers and RF devices. Okay. So now these are all the printers you are using into the warehouses, this kind of printers. And one more thing, remember that any stitchable, the paper cost also will be high compared to the A4 size paper, normal printers, the paper cost also is high because it's a stitchable, and then, like, gum adhesives and everything will come into picture, and then, like, the printing and that barcode printing. So the cost is high. To print a normal A4 size paper, how much cost it will come, one paper? But when you print in a normal, like, this kind of label, the print cost also will be high. So they are very, even, like, to reduce the cost and reprints, or maybe, like, what we call, if it uh, even for one roll, the actually you can say, like, to see that, like, it is a roll kind of thing, right? One roll cost is, like, it's around in Indian rupees, it was around, like, 5,000 rupees per day. How many rolls they use it in a warehouse? In a small warehouse, at least 10. In a small warehouse, a medium warehouse, it was more. If it is a large warehouse, it was like in hell. Everywhere, GR area, packing area, picking area, loading area, everywhere, like, these labels will be, like, they're generating on top of that, like, they're stitching onto the HUs. Especially they are going to use it in packing area. They will stitch it on that particular HUs and everything, like, they will do that. Some warehouse team warehouses, what they will do is they will print it into the roll only, but it's not a stitchable. They will use adhesives, like, to print it, like, sorry, on top of it, like, they will use adhesives. But it's very difficult, like, to that. It is 1%. I'm just giving, like, 1% example. But remaining all, like, whenever, like, they will buy a, like, what is that, the already fixed adhesive paper, they will use it and then they will paste it. So cost wise also, for printing a labels, it will be cost. A4 size paper, it is okay. They can, like, we can use a normal, like, in our offices, how there we are going to use it, like, same way we can use it. Okay, for A4 size papers, sorry, you can use any printer, but especially for printing on a labels, you have to use on a Zebra printers. Okay, clear? So as a functional guy, you need to check that, like, what is the size of the paper. You can see the size of the paper is here, it is 1. And if you go to the another, like, you can see here, this is another size. This is a different size, you can see here. It contains a different size. It contains a different size, you can see. So sizes will be vary. See here, like, it is a normal barcode. Here it is a QR code. Sometimes it will be very small. Sometimes it is a very big also. Big in the sense, see, this is a very big one. Little bit big. So they are keeping into the boxes like this way, and then, like, they are using this is a little bit big. So sizes will be vary, but the information, what kind of information you are going to give it there? You are going to give like, information of, like, what is the handling unit, what is the number, handling unit number in a barcode, or product number, quantity, such kind of details you are going to give it. And then, like, you are using this particular printers. So coming to the, like, size of the label. So while preparing, like, once you start your project, and then, like, at the time, they are going to give, like, what is the size of the label, what are all the information it has to be printed on that one. Then you will give it to the technical developer, and technical developer will develop that particular form, and you need to give that, attach it, test that particular form, and you need to attach it to the respective printer. And from there, like, you need to take a printout. Once you take a printout, like, that print will come into, you need to verify that, okay, print is coming correctly or not, like that way. This is your role. Your role is, once you start the project, or already project is started, whatever maybe, so you need to identify that, like, what is the size of the form, length, width, and height of the form. and what are all the information you need it, where that particular information, okay, left side, right side, bottom, barcode has to come on bottom or up or whatever, what kind of barcode you are using, what kind of QR code using, whether you need in a barcode or QR code, okay, 2D barcode, 3D barcode, what kind of information you required on top of that, that particular form. So whether it is an HU number, material number, batch number, quantity. So, or sometimes only HU number. I know some people will say that, oh, I need only HU number, barcode, very small one. I will just keep it. I'll use that one. I will just go and scan that particular HU number. It has to give information in the RF device. But on top of handling unit, I need only the barcode of HU. It's a very small. I don't want to waste my money on printing. So I need a very small paper. That small paper, bus ticket counters, now they are using a small machine, such kind of machine. They will go to that, they will take that particular machine and then they will print it like this. Token. You see, this is also one kind of simple barcode machine. It's just a token machine. We'll say token machine. If you go to hotel now, that it's a very small one, they just give that whatever you are taking, that order details they are taking, and then they will give a small paper printout. Even if you go, if you are in a petrol bunks or whatever, if you swipe it, you are going to get in a small one, right? So such kind of stitchable, you can keep any kind of paper inside that. Whether that hardware will support for your this one, that is a hardware part, they will take care. But as a EWM consultant, as a EWM functional consultant, what information you need to ask? You need to ask, what is the information I need to fill on that particular form? And the second, what is the size of that particular label you are going to print it? Forget about which hardware they are using, which one they are using, which how they are printing, how much cost they are spending. Just this is the information we are giving. So based on that information, hardware team will buy that that printers, and they will decide that what is the kind of what is the size of the label, how they have to print it, and then they will take a printer accordingly. Okay, you are clear about printer hardware?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so now coming to the once the printers, so printers will be available in each and every location of the warehouse, because warehouse it's nothing but a building. So it's a first floor, second floor, or maybe goods receipt area, work center area. So they will keep all the they will their hardwares, the printers, they will install it. And then the admin, IT admin guy, what they will do, they will connect that one to the they will IT admin guy will prepare all working functional or not, they will check it. And the next thing is SAP. When it comes to the SAP, the basis team will link that particular install all the whatever printers are available, wherever the printer SAP printing is required, they will connect it to the SAP. The basis guys will connect it to the SAP. And once they connect it to the SAP, then our work will start, and you need to start your work, and you need to configure your area, where to print, at what point of time it has to print, which paper it has to print. It's a automatic or semi-automatic or manual, what kind of operation we are going to use it there. So that you will decide it. So you are clear about the hardware part, which machine you are using. Hardware will be handled by the separate IT printer IT team. And the next one is the linkage between SAP to the printer. SAP to the printer is taken care by the basis team. Okay, they will maintain all the settings related to the printer, and then everything they will do it in a basis team. And now coming to the warehouse, where that particular form, at what point of time the form has to be triggered, how the forms will be generated, what are all the forms are available, where we will request that the technical team, and everything we will discuss. Okay. Yeah, now coming to the system. Now I will show it in the system. Yeah, as I told you, the settings, I'm just giving an overview. Okay, just it's not, you are not going to do anything. So the in this particular devices and server, any kind of fax machines, printing machines, and any kind of machines will be taken care by the basis team in this particular area. In this particular area, we have only, it's a test system. So you are going to get only one output, printer called as LP01. If you have on a multiple, you will get all the printers, whatever the printers are available and connected to the SAP system, all the printer details will be available. You will get it here. So each device will contain some complete information of what kind of device it is, whether it how you are going to access it. So this okay, it's a very difficult to you, and it's not required also, but I'm just giving an information that where the basis team will going to use it. So they will determine all the output devices, which output device it is. Okay, which printer output device, nothing but which printer, what is the printer attributes, what are all the how. See, right, once you give all the details, all the information, if you print it from your desktop and you connect it to the print and printer and your laptop, or maybe any of this one. So if you click on that, it will print only color. Why? Because you are going to set in a printer called as color, or maybe you are going to set a color side by side page, or maybe only one page. So such kind of settings, all the settings, and with the port details and everything, they will maintain into the respective area. Okay, this is the one. And coming to the this, okay, fine, the warehouse, or maybe the printers, when it comes to the SAP system, not only EWM, right, you are using so many other modules also, SDPP and some other modules also. So those modules related printers which not required for the EWM. Okay, yeah. Coming to the easy access. Okay, so right, the configuration part and the cutover activities. Coming to the cutover activities, so in the cutover activities, you are going to maintain your warehouse printers. You can see here SCM, extended warehouse management, work scheduling, you can see under work scheduling there is a print. Yeah, you can see under print you have a maintain warehouse specific printing parameters. You are going to maintain your warehouse specific printing parameters according to your warehouse. Okay, you people created so many warehouses here. According to your warehouse, what is the default? If you assign any printer name, what is the default printer name? That will come here. It's a default printer. You just select any warehouse. I'm just selecting one warehouse and I'm going to the printer pool. I'm going to give all my printers here. You can see I'm going to give the pools, and I'm going to add my printers. Suppose I have 10 printers in my warehouse. All 10 printers will come into the one pool. So I will keep all my printers into the one area, one pool. These are all the printers are into one pool. Mean to say, when I click, let's take an example. I will give you one example. There is a printer in first floor, second floor, and third floor. If you give a printout, you are sitting in somewhere else, seventh floor or eighth floor. You given a printout, then it will go to the first floor, second floor, third floor. Why? Because your printer, your print is assigned to this particular printers. Whatever the printers is assigned to this one, you'll get it. And the guy will complete his work, and then he will go to the respective printer in first floor or second floor or third floor, any floor he can visit. And then there, he will take his printout and take that printout, and then he will close this activity. And once he took the printout, the pool will not be available. The pool will not be available. Coming to the other example, parameter called as pool parameter. Here you are going to give a pool parameters, what is the output data, whether it you need to trigger immediately you need to, how many number of copies is there, how to group it, how to group it. So there are the printer settings, you will get it here. The printing information, how it has to print it, all the information will be available in this particular spool parameters. Basically here in this particular area, you are going to maintain your specific warehouse related, how many printers are there, what is the default printer, how many pools is required, like, where to print it, at what point of time, how the spool parameters are required. So that information you are going to give it in a maintain warehouse specific parameters, maintain warehouse specific printing parameters. And one more thing, it is not mandatory to maintain it. One more thing, it is not mandatory to maintain it. It's optional, but spool data is required. Spool data is required. How you are going to, because based on that spool information only, you are going to identify whether, like, my print is triggered or not. My print is triggered or not, you are going to identify by seeing the spool parameters. To generate a spool parameters, obviously your warehouse required a spool parameters. So no need to, like, pooling, no need to printer pools, no need of printer pools. But you can see here, this particular printer, let's take an example, your warehouse, like, in this warehouse, like, you need to maintain a spool data. Once you maintain a spool data, then only you can easily identify and check your whether my print is triggered or not. The printer, how the printer, like, the print comes into picture, and everything, all the details you are going to get by maintaining this spool parameters. Okay, so this is the one parameter. Okay, so the other one is, like, now coming to the picture where you need to trigger that particular print. Okay, we already decided that packing list, picking list, bin label, what else we have, HU label. So many forms and labels we already decided. Okay, so for bins, it is a one-time activity. The triggering of on a bin label is a one-time activity. Very rare you are going to change a label or create a change a bin, create a bin. So the triggering of on a bin label is a one-time activity. For that reason, SAP already provided a separate transaction to generate a bin labels. Anyone knows about, like, what is the transaction code to generate a bin label? Or anyone know where that particular bin label program is available?
No, sir.
No? Okay. In easy access, you know that master data, you can see in a easy access itself, master data, storage bin. What is the transaction code to create in a bin?
LS0,
LS01.
Change,
LS05.
display.
LS03,
Okay, multiple, what we call, like, multiple change, mask change.
LS11,
Good.
LS11.
Okay, what is the, like, upload, for upload bins?
SBUP.
Yeah, exactly, correctly. What is the sorting of this one? Sorting of upload?
SBST,
SBST. So you are using this particular area, right? LS01, LS02, LS11, LS03.
Yes, sir.
How come you people miss this, like, print to fixed bin labels, print to storage bin labels, PRBAN, PR fixed bin, PRBAN? How you forgot? And you didn't try this one,
Yes.
right? You are using this all, you are telling, right? So what about this print bin? See here, print storage bin label, right? If you double click on that, the system will give you, ask you that, like, what is the warehouse number, what is the storage name, bin, storage type, storage section, and then, like, you can see here, based on this, it's a one-time activity. If you are going to implement, like, if you are in an implementation project and you are going to implement, and then you are going to start a new project, greenfield project, at the time, yeah, this is your activity, like, you need to generate all the bin labels and give it to the users. So give it to the respective business users. Business users will go on respective places, and then they will, like, they will stitch all their bins into the respective locations, bin locations. But first of all, you need to generate it, right? And it is not major also. One more thing, it is not major also, because they will go and give it to the respective third party team. So third party team will generate an, like, that label, and they will give it to them. So they will maintain that labels also. Seagull is the one, like, third party tool is there. There are so many, not only one. Okay, there are so many. There is a one which we are using like generally. So that's why, that's the reason like most of the people will not talk about like this particular bin label from ERP side. Sorry, what we call the SAP side. So generally they will download because it's a fixed, and like they have, suppose 1 lakh is there. An example, like you have a 1 lakh bins are there in your warehouse total. Okay, so that 1 lakh bins, like 1 lakh prints is required. So formats will give like what we called what kind of format, which color paper you want to use it, and such kind of information. Like can see here, warehouse bin labels. See, bin labels will be changed, right? Bin labels will come like this way. Position A, length, bin width, length, and everything, like it's with the QR code, or maybe like you can see arrow mark, like upright positions, down arrow mark, up arrow mark. So there are like so that is the reason like they will go with the what they will do is like they will go outside and they will give it to the like third party contractor. And it is very difficult like to create a label, like see, this is the length and width, it is very small, and then they will give it to them and they will print and give it to you. So you just go and place into the respective location like this way, yellow color or red color, or maybe like blue color, whatever the like colors you want representation. So in a warehouse, you will go to the respective location and they will stitch it. It's a one-time activity, done. Your activity is done. Sometimes what will happen, the people will not go to the what we called third party. Then you need to print from SAP only. Then as a EWM consultant, your role to print and to generate that. Nothing but this is the place like where you are going to print your storage bin labels according to like warehouse number or storage bin. And here you can see here form name. You are going to create, this is a standard, SAP just provided a standard form name here. So here you are going to give a like custom one. So basically like obviously you want such kind of label. Yes, you want this kind of label, or you want this kind of label, or maybe according to this like you want this kind of label. Obviously like you need to enhance it. You need to go with an you like it is not allowed like for the standard. So you need to go with a custom one. But standard label printing, like the form name is /scwm/bin label is the form name to print it. So here you are choosing output device, nothing but like wherever output device means it's a printer name. So you are going to use a printer name. It's not a big name called as like Epson, so and so, blah 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 blah, like that, Sony or HP, like that. It's not a big name. So the printer name will be a 4 to 5 character letter, like there the output device, like the 4 to 5 characters will be defined by basis team. So that particular like the device name, you have to use it here. So even if you are in a warehouse, suppose let's take an example, you are in a warehouse. So the hardware guy will talk about like this is a Epson L7 so and so model, and this is my number. You cannot get that particular number in your system. You will get a 4 character letter, but inside that I showed you, right, like last time SPAD settings, there they maintain that particular like the printer name, configurations, application, that details they will maintain there. We even I cannot show here also. Why? Because it's a test system. So in a test system we have only one LP01. That LP01 is contains like so only few features. It's not connected to any device, right? Any printer, right? So that is the reason like you are not going to get any output of this one. But LP01, ST01, or maybe like they will give you ST02 or printer 01, PR01, PR02. They can keep their own naming conventions, and then they will keep all the device names here. If you press F4, which kind of like device you want it, like you are going to get in a device. Not only here, you are going to get output device, the word called as output device or printer name in each and every area which I am going to explain in the next steps. Okay, this is about the print labels. You are going to give like which warehouse number, which storage bin, which store, only one storage bin you want to print it, like you can just give the storage bin and then you can click on it, will go to the respective like spool and it will print it. Okay, let me go for one warehouse. So any warehouse which contains a storage bins? Anyone? One number?
TNVK.
TNVK. Okay, fine. Yeah, no matches.
ANWH, sir.
AN
WH.
double H. Okay, fine. Yeah, ANWH. Okay, let me check the any storage bin it is available. Okay, I'm going to the rack storage. Let's take, I'm going to take on only one printout. Okay. In a rack storage, I have a block bin is there. Okay, I will click a block bin and I'll just go and give my LP01 is the printer. And now if I execute, see, and I executed. If I go to the SP01 is the transaction code where you are going to check your, see, a print will be generated, block bin. So basically this is not connected to the any printer. It is not connected to the any printer. That is the reason the spool is generated and it held in it will be available in respective spool. Once it is connected to the printer, whenever you click, whenever you execute, let's say here, you are executing with a block bin, right? Let me see. Now I will execute with my, another bin. Okay. See, excise bin. Okay. Excise bin is there. So I selected the excise bin and then whenever I executed, okay, let's see here. Whenever I executed, immediately a spool will be generated. Okay. Immediately spool will be generated. Okay. I just executed. And where I can check all my spools, I can check all my spools in SP01. I'm just refreshing here. See, my second spool 17705 is generated, but you can see the status waiting. When I triggered, the first one I triggered at 11:11, the second one I triggered at 11:12. The status is waiting. If suppose this particular printer is assigned to the respective, the printer, the actual printer, then the status you will get it as a completed. The status you are going to get it as a completed. Is there any problem with the the printer, or maybe printer Wi-Fi or something is happen, that one you are going to get a status is a retry. So based on this particular spool status, you will come to know whether your print is done or not done, what happened, what is you can easily identify by seeing this spool. If you remember, I told you in just 10 minutes back, the spool parameters you are going to maintain it. Based on that spool parameters only, this spool will be generated accordingly. And you can see here the title. The title will gives you that who is the user trigger and which printer, and then which area, bin printing. So small. So by seeing this, oh, he did a bin printing on that particular printer by so and so user. So you will come to know that the details. You can see here excise bin, which I printed here. Okay, well and good. This is just a bin. So he will take a printout and then he will cut from there. So this is a A4 size paper. You can see here, this is a A4 size paper. This is A4 size paper. Now, let me do one. I'll not give any bin. I'll not give any storage. In the ANWH warehouse, there are so many bins. I want to take all the bins print. Executed. I'm just refreshing. Okay, I'll just go to the SP01. Is a spool, you can see here spool request. SP01 is nothing but spool request. So who is the user, who is the when it is created, you can go with this way. Okay, I'm just executing. So the third one, 1706 at 11:14. When I execute, see, only 1 page to 10 pages, 192 pages it is printed. You can see here. Block bin, cotton bins, like that, you can see here. How many pages? It was more than so many pages. I'm just pressing page down.
192 pages, sir.
Yeah, 192 pages it is printed. How you will come to know? By seeing this, you can see here number of pages here. You can get the information from here. Now you are clear about what this is a one sample printing. I'm just doing one sample printing by executing the bin printing. So for bin print, already SAP provided one separate transaction to print the bins. Why? It is a one-time activity. It is not runtime activity. It is a one-time activity. According to your business runtime, it will be vary. So it is a one-time activity. So what you are doing is there is a separate transaction which is available to print it. Okay, at runtime, okay, you are getting an inbound delivery. According to the inbound delivery, you need to get a delivery note. According to the what is that handling unit, you have to get an HU a handling unit to be printed. According to the warehouse order, you need to print and put up a picking label. According to the what we called unloading information, you need to trigger an unloading sheet. So this is runtime. So runtime it will be vary. That particular delivery number, that particular HU number only you are going to print that particular labels or forms. Whether it's a label or form, you are going to see it in a spool only, SP01 or SP02. Okay, so SP01 will come with an selection screen. SP02 without selection screen only to your user. If I use SP02, my user only will come directly. There is no selection screen will not appear. If you want to change the user, if you want to check other people what they triggered, you have to go to the SP01 and you need to give an inputs. Okay, that is about this one. Now coming to this is a master data. Bin label is in a master data, so you are going to execute one time. So SAP provided this and you are going to work with this way. Okay, now coming to the actual scenario, our scenario, delivery note or unloading instructions, you have to print it. Or HU label, you have to print it. Warehouse order labels, packing specifications. Okay. So SAP, what SAP EWM, especially SAP EWM is a structured language. Okay. So SAP EWM, what it was, they segregated very properly. They segregated very properly on application basis. They segregated very properly on application basis. Okay. I'll give you one transaction code. The transaction code has global condition maintenance records. Okay, I will explain why this comes into picture. Okay, the transaction code name called as /scwm/gcmc. Remember this GCMC, global condition maintenance. Okay, GCMC is the transaction code. Okay, I'm just open this one. You can see you are going to get application maintenance group and maintenance contact. Forget about now maintenance group and maintenance context. Okay, so now we'll talk about application. So as I told you, the system SAP as a structurized way, they segregated your printings into the respective say DPP is for the delivery. Any kind of delivery you want to print a delivery notes. You want to print a delivery notes, they segregated and then they put that application name as a DPP called as delivery. You want to print a packaging specification things you can see that PAK is the one application there you're going to use it. You are going to print in a handling units PHU. You are going to print in a physical inventory PPI. You can see you are going to print in a warehouse order PWO. You want to print in a wave templates WME. So these are all the in our warehouses there are 13 entries. Okay, fine, well and good, but we are using DPP, PAK, PHU, PPI, PWO and SCH. These are all the details we are applications we are using. So SAP is provided in a structurized application wise bifurcated, and if you want to print any kind of that particular area, you need to identify that which comes which area, which application. Based on that particular application, you are going to select this particular application. According to the application, you can easily identify that oh, this printing is here, we need to activate this particular printing, we need to add a form, we need to change a form, like that way. Okay, so this is about application. So it's a structurized way. Now, and not only here, I'm just going to the SPRO. Just I'm showing you how it's structurized. Okay, I'm going to the SPRO. You can see, suppose packaging specification we are talking about, right? Sorry, you want to print in a pack specs. You can come here and see the packaging specification. You have a you can see, are able to see, create field catalog, define condition table, define access sequence, define condition types, define determination procedure, create condition maintenance group will be available. Same like, I'm just closing this. Okay. I'm just closing this. You come to the goods receipt process. Now coming to the inbound delivery. Here you can see that print and sorry, I am in wrong place. Handling units, you can see here. Yeah, you can see the same set of the fields, you can see create field catalog, define condition table, define access sequence, define condition type, define determination procedure, assign determination procedures like this way, and create maintenance group. And now these are all 3 configure printers, define PPF. I will talk about later. Okay, so this is available. Same way you can come to the warehouse order, and you can see wherever the print comes against the prints, you are going to get this set of set of these nodes. You can see create field catalog, condition table, and this set of nodes will come into picture. Okay, so same way hey, come on. Wherever you see the printing, you will get a same thing. Create field catalog, create condition types, create access sequence, create condition. So wherever you are getting this information, so it is somewhere else there is an activity linked to this particular one. It's a printing activity, or maybe it's a warehouse, automatic warehouse task creation, or some kind of alert mechanism or workflow, whatever it may be, there is a link in this case. Okay, so the controlling of printing on that particular, why I'm showing this one is the controlling of printing. At what point of time that the print has to be triggered is handled by PPF, post processing framework. Clear? The controlling of printing will be handled by PPF at runtime. Use this word, runtime. If suppose you want to trigger separately, then you can create your own program, and then like I showed you that bin separate transaction code, right? Pre bin. So same like that way, what you can do is you can create a separate program, and there you can print a HU label, you can print a form label, whatever the labels, forms, whatever the forms we discuss, we can trigger it. But at runtime, irrespective of your knowledge, manual or manual intervention, whenever you create an HU and save it in a pack transaction, the handling unit print has to be triggered. Whenever you create a picking warehouse task, the picking list will to be triggered. Whenever it is moved to click on the packaging specification and go to that particular area, the pack spec or pack list has to be packing you are doing, so pack list has to be triggered. Loading list, whenever you start doing a loading list has to be triggered. So it's a runtime. So which is the major area triggering point here. The triggering point is on a PPF. The triggering point is on a PPF. Okay, so PPF is the tool to control this printing parameters. Clear?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Now maybe not today, or maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we'll schedule one more meeting, and we'll discuss about the PPF. So where the printer parameter print settings will be available, and we'll I will explain about how to do the printer settings, and what is the same the GCMC condition records, as well as I will go to the this SPRO settings, and then I will show you that where we are going to give these particular forms, labels, and everything, how it triggers.
Sir, I can ask one, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, you share today video.
Yeah, I will share it to CK, so he will share it to you people.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, fine. Any questions? You are clear, right? As of now, what is what and how it is triggered, what is a linking point and everything. You are clear about the printers, forms, labels.
Sir, once tell me printers, sir.
Sorry,
Once tell me printers.
what it mean? What I need to tell?
The printers, labels, and
Already I told you, right? Like, that's what I'm asking you people. You are clear about that. You are clear about that. What is printer? Like, what printer they are going to use it in a warehouse, and then like, how the printer will be, like, what is that? Like, label. What is the difference between the label and form? Where the label will come into picture, where the form will come into picture.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir. But handling unit is there, no
Yes,
RF
sir.
device.
Okay.
Yeah, that is also there. Please explain that.
Sorry,
How to-
handling unit.
Handling unit, please explain, sir. Brief. Handling unit is there, no RF device.
That is RF, right? That is completely
Yeah.
RF. We are talking about forms and labels only. I'm not talking about
only.
RF.
No, that is also important.
Yeah. That
Nowadays.
is, see, that will come next. What we called as like, next session we are going to discuss about like, in a system, right?
Okay.
There are two ways of printing. One is like, normal desktop printing, or maybe laptop or whatever. Like, see, now we are using desktop or laptop, and we are triggering from desktop or laptop, right?
Okay.
But in warehouse, like, in some places desktops or laptops will be available. In some places RF device is available.
Okay.
RF device means like, see, completely the hardware device is changing.
Okay.
If you print from laptop or desktop, like, it is one setting. If you want to print from RF, it is a different setting.
Okay.
But process is same.
Okay.
You understand my point, right? Like,
Okay.
only hardware device is changing.
Yeah. Hardware device is changed, but process is same. Okay.
No, process is same. Printing of a handling unit process is same. So only thing is, if it is RF device, what are all the settings you have to do? If it is a normal desktop and this one, what are all the settings you have to do? That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
You got it, my bad. That I will explain in the next class. Like, in a system, I will show you. So what is what? Like, and this is just an overview of like, okay, this much importance of to the printers or maybe labels and forms. So what is the importance and why we are doing that? Why it is a specific topic.
Okay.
Okay. Why it is a specific topic. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Any questions?
Sir, as you said, like Zebra and Honeywell, in other printers we use dot matrix and ribbon printers. You are saying about like printer name, and or else you are saying about brand name?
There are two things, like, see, the language we are using for printing a barcodes is a Zebra language.
Okay.
Whatever the printers will support that Zebra language, you can use it. It can be a Zebra printer. Zebra itself is having an like, the Zebra itself is having a separate printer as a brand. Honeywell is a one more brand. MacTech is a one more brand. So there are so many brands are available. You can use any brand, any printer which can support the Zebra language.
Okay.
Got it, right?
Sir, printer is using all work centers. For example, Decon, work rule, and VAS work centers.
Yes.
All work center compulsory you can use in.
No, it's not a compulsory. See how you are thinking that like, work centers will be available in a warehouse. Visualization, just visualize it. See, it depends, like, it depends on the project, it depends on the company, it depends on the warehouse. Okay, my warehouse is very small. Let's say an example, my warehouse is very small warehouse.
Okay.
My warehouse contains like, 20 work centers.
Okay.
In VAS, 4 work centers are there. 4 people are working in the VAS, 4 work centers are there.
Okay.
In packing station, like, 8 work centers are there.
Okay.
All 8 work center I will use /SCW/pack only, but 8 work centers are there. 8 people are working on there.
Okay.
What I will do is like, it depends on like, cost effective or whatever it may be, like, what I will do is I will keep only one printer in near to that work center.
Okay.
Everyone will use it. Or I'm like, the warehouse person is very rich and like, that continuously they have to do. So what they will do, they will keep each and every work center, each and every people, like, they will keep a one printer,
Okay, okay.
not to disturb. So it depends on the warehouse, how many printers are required. Very first, like, that's why we are in a greenfield implementation. Okay, they will say that, like, oh, we need this many printers, we need this many places are there, here printer is required, here printer is not required. Like that, they will identify and they will keep it.
Okay, okay. Okay, sir.
One of my warehouse, there are around, like, 5,000 printers are there.
Okay, very big, large, logistic.
Yeah, very big thing.
Very big.
So each and every, there are, like, different only work centers we have, like, around the 300 work centers are there.
Okay.
300 work centers. So now each 300 work centers, 2 printers. One is a normal printer, one is a Zebra, like, label printer.
Okay, sir. All warehouse clerk also, supervisor also, they are going to print out, or the consultant?
No. EWM consultant will set up that one.
Okay.
The warehouse worker who is working on that particular work center, he will use.
Okay, okay.
He can be a manager, he can be a normal worker, or he can be a labor, he can be a contract resource, it can be any person.
Okay.
Who is working on that particular work center, that guy is using that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir. Only Zebra language will be have in other any languages or have in printer?
Basically, SAP to this one, this is the only one language. Zebra printers and Zebra language is the one, like, now connecting. There are another, like, RFID language, but it also use Zebra language.
Okay.
Terminology will change, but Zebra language only.
Check-in, check-out point, CICO is there, na? The truck is come in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Within that, you can directly go with parking to direct.
No, it is not like that. See, basically, like, in a real time, what will happen, like, see, there even I will give you one simple example. You are going to interview physically, you are going to attend the interview.
Okay.
Compulsory, you will stop at the time, or, like, at the point of, like, security gate, right?
Okay.
So you have to give, like, this is my call letter, or this is the thing, and you are going to give it to the security. What security will do? Security will enter all the details, and he will give you, he will take a one print, sir, study, he will take a photo, and he will give an employee number, and he will give a ID card, and then that ID card give it to you. That access is eligible only to the interview area to you. Okay. Access card also they will give you to interview area. Then the same way the truck driver receives, the truck driver, they will give you access to park it into the specific place once after he entered all the details only.
Okay.
Where to go, which door it has to go. So that same way. So same way it will process, like, that security people will computer in maintenance means they have some small Java application, whatever it may be, like, on top of it. So they're just maintaining all the details, and then just generating a photo ID card, and then they're giving to you. Here, CICO also, what they will do is they will enter all the vehicle information, inbound delivery, like, from where it is coming, all the details, and then they will take a printout of, like, unloading list, and they will give you the information. Go to that particular door and drop it.
Okay.
Go to that particular place. So same rule process is, like, the simple. So everywhere, say, truck directly cannot go and park into the respective place. Now smart, there is no people of, like, security and everything, it's smart, right? That's the reason, like, we are getting dock appointment scheduling, advanced topics, we are getting, like, yard management before itself, like, what we are going to do is the truck driver while traveling itself, like, they are identifying that based on the event management where he is and which door it has to assign. So they are giving, without that, like, straight away the gate will open and he will go to the respective location. That's it.
Yeah.
That is the purpose of this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything else? Hello?
Nothing, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah, fine. So again, like, maybe not tomorrow, so day after tomorrow we'll schedule one more.
Thank you for
meeting.
sharing your knowledge, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
You're
you, sir.
welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
So I will give you, like, another date, and then we'll explain, like, I will explain about, like, this PPF forms, how we need to configure RF level and normal level. So how to configure, I will just show you the, like, one scenario.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Fine. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.